And we're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Changeling the Lost Smoky Mountain Wilds. I am William Orshani, and I am your storyteller for this Changeling the Lost Second Edition Chronicle. Welcome back. Joining me today, we have Katie.
I am Katie. I play Joe Arbor, and I am an elemental notary.
And Drevian.
Drevian, I play Frisian, the Darkling Hunterheart.
And Julia.
I am Julia, and I play Cassandra Scott, the elemental polychromatic.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I am Jeremy. I am playing Jackson Montgomery or Marlene Dubois, who is a Ferris Shadowland.
And as always, Black Lives Matter, trans rights to human rights, eat the rich, believe women, happy Gluttony Month, and not as always, today is the Trans Day of Remembrance. So give a thought and a kind word to all of the trans folk that you know, and consideration for any of those out there who might be determining for themselves whether or not their identity falls along that line. And as mentioned previously, eat the rich, because that'll help a lot. But when last we left off, most of the group had gone to celebrate Halloween in various ways. Frisian and Joe decided to take part in the festivities by joining in with Autumn Fright's haunted house that she had set up in the middle of, I want to say Gatlinburg?
Gatlinburg.
Yeah. Gatlinburg has tons of haunted houses. Set up in the middle of Gatlinburg, where the pair of them got to play a bestial wolf monster, in the case of Frisian, using their claws to strike sparks off the metal piping in the walls and elicit screams from those they chased around. And Joe playing the Headless Horseman, where Autumn Fright used a little bit of their weird magic to detach Joe's head from her shoulders and allow her to carry it around for the evening.
Great party trick.
Oh, yeah. Listen, when you're part of the Autumn Court, you have weird tricks like that.
No complaints here.
Do you mean a parting trick?
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Fuck you all.
A terrible thought came to mind to use that power when you get pulled over by a cop and just put your head in the seat beside you.
I mean, I would be. You know what they say, officer? Yeah, I'd lose my head if it wasn't attached to. Oh, wait.
Let's move on before we give Jeremy an aneurysm, another aneurysm.
All I can imagine, like the cop just in the routine walks up to your window. It's like, do you know how fast you are going? It's like, no, I can't see the odometer from the seat.
Oh, fuck. Is this better than Vampire the Requiem, Jeremy?
Okay, let's not pretend that this wouldn't be happening.
Oh, it would be.
Vampire the Requiem. So yes. Also, a good strong kick in the dick is better than Vampire the Requiem. Fuck that game. I'm sorry, New World of Darkness fans, except for I am super not.
Sorry, not sorry.
Fucking garbage.
Yeah. So, we pick up briefly with Frisian, who happened to have bit off a little bit more than they could chew in terms of glamour, having a little too effectively frightened the inhabitants of this haunted house and drawn just a little bit more glamour than they can hold. And as it rushes out, as the flood of fear floods your senses and pours out of you like an overflowing bowl, you wanted to incite bedlam involuntarily, correct?
Yep.
Well then, I believe there is a role for that. Do. Wonders and terrors. Incite bedlam. So you are going to roll manipulation and weird.
No modifiers.
What court are you part of?
Summer.
Okay, so not the +3 for being in the court. You are actually at a... You're actually at a -1. Because the emotion is of a court of minor opposition to your court. No successes. Fortunately, while the fear pours out of you, it doesn't seem to be strong enough, and this makes an amount of sense because you only overflowed by 1 glamour. It doesn't appear to be strong enough to override the baseline emotions of those around.
Probably also help that they're already feeling fear.
They are. Although, 1 second. Okay, yeah. No, if you fail, you just fail. All right, so with that, there's a lot to cover because one of our individual members of this motley has not been present for a couple of sessions. Well, 1 session, I think, because we missed the other one. It would have been. But there's a weekend that needs to at least be gone over. As while the rest of the group has been preparing for Halloween and going out and spending time, one particular member of the motley has elected to take this weekend to get to know their sister, who happens to be a werewolf. So with that, Cassandra, what is your house like? What is the environment like when your sister and her girlfriend arrive?
Well, she would have made sure the night before, she would have made sure the kids not only, packed and got ready to go to grandma and grandpa's, but would have picked up any of their toys or anything, would have made sure the place, she would have probably spent the majority of the day cleaning the fuck out of the house. Which probably included a few ADD trips into the basement, which meant more things back up and more clutter, which then had to get cleaned out again. But she is trying to make it clean, but she's not going over the top to she doesn't want it to look like a magazine, but she wants it to be spotless.
Mhm.
Like she's not over embellishing, but she's making sure the fucker is clean.
Just for my amusement, roll me. That's your character sheet. What would I even call this? We'll make it wits and composure, just because.
Okay.
Your standard perception roll. How
Wits and
eagle are your
composure.
eyes?
2, but I believe. Hold on. Yeah, I have to roll another d10. I forgot I have acute senses. 3 successes.
I thought it was also wits and composure. It looks
Yeah,
just
it didn't.
Composure.
It didn't roll my wits. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me redo that entire thing. I know how to play this game. 0 successes.
I mean, just add 2 more dice to your original roll.
Okay.
No need to make you lose because you didn't roll enough dice.
1
more. 4 successes.
4 successes.
You make an exceptionally clean house. As you have spent perhaps more attention than was necessary as you're sort of like cleaning the living room for the 3rd time, and Bologna is just, they're not going to care, right?
It's not for them, it's for me.
I mean, fair enough, but I'm pretty certain you could literally eat off that floor right now.
And that is the intention. That was the goal I was going for, and look, I made it work.
You want to eat off the floor?
It did sound like that what I'm saying.
Look, your sister may be cated, but you don't need to make them eat off the floor.
This is how you eat, right? You're wolf.
Look, I think your sister might be offended if you put a doggy bowl out for her.
Yeah, but it'd be funny.
She'd laugh and then she'd kick my ass. But yeah, she'd probably be a little bit offended. Though I don't know what she's into in the bed. You know what? I'm not going to talk that way about my sister. So, and she is, contrary to the super homemaker way she has done her house, she is going to be in a very relaxed outfit. Just t-shirt and shorts. Nothing too extravagant.
It is about then that there's a knock at the door.
She's just like frozen in the middle of the living room looking at the front door.
You gonna let him stand there and knock, or you want me to get it?
I can do this.
Yes, you can.
She will take a deep breath, put on a smile, and then go and open the door.
You open the door, and you are greeted once again by the combination of Lily, or the name that she has apparently taken in her time since becoming one of the werewolves, Dancing Meadow, and her girlfriend, whose name I forgot to write down.
Dawn.
Dawn, yes, there we go. Yeah.
She will before any words come out of any of the three individuals' mouths, she will just wrap the two of them in a hug.
Lily is happy to take it. Dawn seems a little surprised, but leans into it after a moment. And Lily just, good to see you too, sis.
Welcome. To you. Come on in, make yourselves at home.
Yeah. And the two of them walk in. As you walk in, go ahead and roll me wits and empathy. Cassandra.
I'm glad that I have a dot in empathy. 0 successes.
Cool.
US egg.
They walk in. You notice nothing. But they sort of walk in and grab some seats in the living room. There's this slight awkward air as no one speaks for a moment. And then after a brief pause, Tyr stands up and just goes, let me go get food set out for everybody, and walks into the kitchen.
Right, food. That is a thing I forgot to do today.
Fortunately, I was paying more attention.
Smile. I get the feeling this is not the first time this has happened.
Oh, probably not. The two of you work well together. When one of you forgets something, the other one usually remembers. Usually.
Listen, that's the thing about neurodivergent couples, is that you're the other half of the brain. The two of you make one whole idiot.
That when you both have the same half of one brain, and then it gets messy.
That sounds like from experience.
It's from experience.
I know it's experience.
When you forget about the same things.
How has how's college been going? I know we kind of talked a little bit yesterday, but actually talk to me about it this time instead of us just trying to get through lunch.
I mean, art major's been significantly more entertaining than starting in law. I'm enjoying this much more than I would have if I had been going down that particular line.
Did Maeve throw a fit when you told her that you were going towards art?
I mean, it was post-change, and there's a weird dynamic with your family at that point. Because they're still your family, and you always respect all of that. But at the same time...
You're different?
Yeah. And who the fuck is going to tell me no if I'm set on something?
She's gonna think for a minute and then just point to Dawn.
I mean, yes, in a similar fashion. But it's a very weird thing to be in the kind of position that I'm in, and it's very awkward to, like... Yeah, older sister. Yeah, your opinion matters to me and I respect it, but also she gestures to herself.
And I can completely understand why you haven't told any of them. I mean, outside of the fact that, one, none of them are going to believe you. But two, just as open-minded as a family as we are very close-minded, especially mom and pop.
I mean, about which topics, because it varies.
If I remember correctly, Dad don't really care much for the supernatural, and Mom just sort of didn't do anything with it to keep him happy.
Which is kind of hilarious because apparently we have kindred on both ends.
Really?
Yeah. According to the people that I spoke to upon having my first change and getting contacted, both our parents are kindred. I mean, it sort of explains why Dad never really cared much for the, supernatural. He could be staring down a werewolf and not react the way that someone else does.
Fair enough.
Speaking of which, Tyr, you seem to be holding up very well. And Tyr's like, I have had at least 2 pills. I'm good.
He's a bit of a fighter, so.
My understanding is vague, so feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, or don't if it's some kind of family secret. But as far as I understand, the fear reaction that werewolves incite in normal humans is the kind of thing that you can get used to via exposure. But drugs help in the short term. And sort of like everyone's afraid of bears until you've spent a long time handling bears.
That's a pretty good way to put it. I guess.
I mean, Lily just sort of shrugs. I'm not really informed on all the aspects of that, but if it works, I guess. And Tears just same stuff I use for the hedge.
How to solve your problems with the supernatural? Antipsychotics.
Pretty much.
I mean,
no, that creates problems because if you are not a guru or a kinfolk and something and a guru changes into Krynos or a Hispo in front of you and you don't run away,
you're probably dead.
You're the dumb one.
Yeah.
Even if they're not going after you, you're probably dying in the crossfire.
But that depends on the person, because I'm sure Tyr would realize it's a smart idea to run away instead of instinctually running away.
Yeah, I did running away under your own power versus running away in blind terror.
Like I was people there. I think what is it? 10 willpower. It lists the interaction as you might be curious and approach. And I'm like, good. So if you have 10 willpower in front of a guru who's changed, you're dead.
Yeah.
We found the detriment for having 10 willpower.
Yeah, if you have 10 willpower, you resist delirium, and it's like that's not always a good thing.
No, it's almost always a bad thing. Like delirium is there to protect humanity.
like the thought also comes to mind is like, you resisted the delirium. The Guru know that humans experience delirium. It's not a far stretch to go from the Guru now thinks you're not human.
Also, that.
Or some other variety of threat, yeah.
Ooh, good point.
Yeah,
Right.
if you don't panic when they change, they might assume you're some form of threat.
Yep. Delirium is the curse, and it did not come about in world as a good thing, but it is a good thing for the people.
Unfortunately, Tyr is a hunter and has voluntarily made that bad decision.
I mean, it's fine right now because nobody's
going to change, yeah, at the moment.
Still the curse.
Yeah.
Listen, as long as the antipsychotics do not become habitual, it's not really a problem.
I have a very strict ration on these. I don't even trust them. I don't. Hunter politics are a whole different topic, but the acquisition of these things is a thing that I am very careful about.
Did he just say that in front of them without?
They're aware. They were aware.
Okay.
Because he had the glasses when they met.
Right.
I love how constantly Cassandra is flipping out whenever anybody outs there's a hunter, and everybody else is like, "What? It's fine."
I mean, like, the werewolf is like, "What are you gonna do? Fight me? I'm a werewolf."
Right. And the kinfolk is like, "What are you gonna do? Fight her? She's a werewolf."
All I can imagine the kinfolk's not like, what are you gonna do? Fight her? She's a werewolf. What are you gonna do? Fight me? She's a werewolf.
How and I know you've taken a step away from the family for a little bit, but how are the rest of them doing? I've gleaned a bit from social media, but doesn't really tell me anything about mom and dad.
I mean, Maeve is probably the most well-adjusted in the family. I think there might be a hairline fracture in the dam that is father, but I can't tell. He seems less Stonewall about it. And he hasn't gotten more aggressive about being a bigot, so maybe something good is happening there, but I can't tell. If anything, it's like erosion over a long period. Also, I gave her a voice at one point, and I've forgotten what it was because it's been several weeks.
It wasn't much different than your average feminine voice that you do.
Mm.
It was
Little higher pitched.
a little higher, light, soft.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, somewhere around here. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
Well, I mean, if Dad's finally starting to change his ways, then it might be easier. But it took a lot in me yesterday to not just call the two of them up and give them an earful about everything that's been going on since I left.
I think at a certain point, the people he associated with became crazy enough that even he had to realize how bad of an idea it was.
Good. At least he had. At least we know he hasn't completely fallen off the edge.
I know you've been out of you've been out of the world for years and have not kept up with modern politics, but the conservative party in our nation is currently the insane party in our nation, and at least he realized that.
Good to know. No, I didn't really keep up on politics when I was away.
Yeah. And I guess seeing the deep end that everyone else was jumping off of, if everyone else was jumping off a bridge, would you? He decided no, he wouldn't.
Good.
Good to know that happens in Fantasyland, because in real life,
Like, oh, that must be a nice place.
I know at least 2 people who are like that. Out of all the people that I know.
yeah,
Out of how many?
You said 2, and the immediate thought was Doofenshmirtz. Like, if I had 2 nickels.
It's not a lot, but it's weird that it's happened
It's weird that it
twice.
happened twice.
reality.
Why do
Yeah.
why do we play this game? Because reality.
Escapism.
Yes, when the conservatives saw the insanity and decided to change their ways is the escapism.
I mean, the problem is this is the world of darkness. The issue is that both sides are equally bad.
Yeah. In this particular situation, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
anyway.
werewolves and elementals.
Right.
Let's get to the happier parts of the
And
world.
dragons, oh
darkness.
my.
Yeah. But as stubborn as Cain is, he's coming along better than mother and father are. I think Cain is mostly just indifferent. I don't think he leans one way or the other. I think he just wants to, live and let live.
I've known a lot of people in my life that have tried that. I mean, good for them. It doesn't work. I would rather get upset about issues that prevent my way of life.
I mean, I agree with you on all fronts. It must be real nice to be able to shirk the responsibilities of being a good person.
Well, he gets sweetie, he gets that on 2 fronts. And as you get older, you'll understand. You probably already do, but he wins on 2 fronts. He's straight and he's male. Oh, and he's white, so he's
He's got the trifecta, yes.
It took about 4 drinks last night to get me calmed down from yesterday. Not. Let me rephrase that. It took 4 drinks to get me calmed down to where I wouldn't do anything stupid, like calling mom. But yesterday was nice.
Now the meme, it's like I feel like doing something stupid. I'm stupid to do me. Just
One of my favorites.
I am tempted to reach back out to Kane and Maeve, but I know that Maeve can't keep a secret to save her fucking life, so
I mean,
Mom
unless
would-
you put it in a contract. She is a lawyer.
right. She's a paralegal, there's a difference.
I mean, yeah.
The shade.
But I mean, she's legally minded kind of thing, and at the very least, she'll be accepting.
Because there's no loopholes in the law.
She's keeping up with the charities and whatnot and volunteer work with the LGBTQIA plus community. So she's definitely got a leg up on Kane and Dad. So, but like I said, there's a reason I reached out to you first.
I mean, I feel like more than one reason. As she sort of rests her head on Dawn's shoulder.
More than one.
So we're just gonna spend all weekend eating, drinking, talking? Because I'm down for it, but...
Do you have something in mind?
I mean...
We can literally go and do anything. I've got the money for it.
Monopoly.
So I've heard. I mean... Aren't you a little curious about the non-normal things that we have to share?
Oh, yeah, but didn't I wasn't gonna outright just go, okay, show me what you look like in your werewolf form. I wasn't gonna. But I mean, if you wanna, we should probably. I feel like inside the house is probably not a good idea.
He sort of looks around, checking the dimensions. No, I can fit in here. Mostly. I have to slouch a little bit.
Just look up, do math outside. Thank the gods for the privacy fence and the fact that our neighbors do not pay attention.
All right. Lily sort of stands up, shakes her hair out, looks over at Dawn, who just, yeah, sure, if we're doing this, and follows Lily out back.
She will look at Bologna. Are you wanting to stay inside for this one?
I might keep a distance, but I mean...
Okay, well, I need you to remember two things. One, inside is safe. Two, it's my sister.
Yep.
So if you
that's
if you
what
fire,
that's what the drugs are for.
Any guns, if there are any bullets flown, I love you to bits, but I will cut parts off.
That's what the drugs are for. Assuming those Chiron idiots know what they're doing, it shouldn't be a problem.
You have a fantastic gift for imparting confidence. She would pat his shoulder and walk outside.
When you step outside, Bellona sort of steps outside but stays at the door rather than stepping out into the backyard. And the three of you step out into the middle of the backyard. What does your backyard look like?
So, it's probably a little overgrown. Just considering that Tyr and I both have been running constantly. So the grass is a little too high. Nothing unmanageable. We do have kids, so we try to keep it fairly well done. There's a small shed in the back. There's a hammock between one of the few sets of trees that are close enough together to do that. There's a swing set with attached slide, a number of like the discarded like RV cars that like the little electric cars that kids
I can
ride around
literally
in.
visualize all of this. Yes,
Yep.
I have lived this back. Lily steps out into the middle of it and just sort of looks around, rolls her shoulders. I guess let's take this one step at a time then. She says as you look, she broadens. Her entire frame seems to increase in all dimensions as she gains about a half foot of height and a good 100 pounds of muscle as she shifts into her glabro. And you see that she looks more wild than previous. Her hair is a little bit looser and more free-flowing. The set of her jaw is a little bit more aggressive. Her eyes are a little sharper, but she doesn't look unnatural aside from the size increase. She says, "This is sort of the halfway point." Her voice is deepened an octave. "Most don't look this good at this point. Mine is a little special in that it still looks mostly human. For anyone who's played werewolf, she has fair glabro." And then we move on to the one that everyone's familiar with if you've seen any horror movies and also should be scared of. As she continues to grow further. You are A, changeling, and B, kindred. Which means that you do not feel the instinctive mind overriding terror that comes with the vision of a werewolf in Krynos form. There is, however, the natural and perfectly understandable instinct of a large, dangerous thing is now standing in front of me that causes you to take just a half step back.
I was gonna say, did the door slam shut?
No, but Bologna is white knuckling it. The drugs seem to be doing their work at least.
She will. So, what does she look like in her Krynos form?
So yeah, as she increases in size yet further to a solid 8.5, maybe 9 feet tall, the outfit is surprisingly growing with her, which is not a thing that you would expect of the outfit that she's wearing. Likely some kind of werewolf nonsense going on with it. But the fur that is the same color as her hair, that same like bright orange, sort of spreads across her frame. Her eyes shift from that bright green to the sort of black and reflective yellow of a more common wolf's eyes. The hair grows out and covers her entire body as a tail sprouts. She tosses aside the shoes because apparently those are going to get ruined. As her legs extend and you hear the sound of bones cracking and flesh reknitting itself. It's not a good noise. As the massive sort of orange red, but not as, we're not talking underworld werewolf. she looks elegant in a strange way. The wolf form that she takes on is large and imposing and threatening. The massive claws that she has say that easily. But she appears to be more fantastic than horrific. And that might be something to do with her lineage. But she seems dangerous, powerful, large, threatening, but also more serene than you would expect of a massive wolf monster standing in front of you. Which might also be influencing how Bologna is actually able to stand here.
She's going to just sort of do a walk around. Take in, just sort of take it in, and then she's going to just she's going to go for a hand and just sort of take it in hers and feel the fur and claws.
She will let you. The voice is incredibly deep at this point, as she says, and her wolven jaw sort of mangles the speech, but she manages to get out. There's still a bit more after this.
Okay, she will take a step back.
And she continues to shift further as the clothing seems to like recede into her shape as she changes further. As she hunches down to all fours, and then the shape adjusts further into a ridiculously large and more aggressive than should ever be natural wolf. With sort of more wild and aggressive looking stylings, longer ears, sharper fangs, larger eyes, bigger feet and claws than any wolf should ever by rights have. At which point Dawn takes over the narration and says, this is the halfway between a wolf and the beast. Sort of like the half man beast was, between man and War Machine. And then the last one, and the wolf shrinks down to what you would expect of a red wolf. She takes on the form of a typical like wildlands red wolf.
Who's a good puppy?
She is going to
Don't say that to him.
she's just gonna think for a second. She's gonna smile and just pat Lily on the head.
Throw it to as well.
So she can just do this. She went to talk like Lily's actual animal for a second, then just shake head, look back at Lily. So you can just do this whenever you want to.
She sort of shrugs her shoulders a bit, shakes her head out, and then her form elongates, stretches up, the clothes reappear as she reassumes her human form. It takes a little bit of focus and a little bit of effort, but pretty much.
Oh, I mean, you got me beat because I sort of always look like this. However, and she goes from, I have to look up a thing really quick because there is a thing that the polychromatic can do. Yes.
And you like blind people with your like sheer colorfulness?
Yes.
A disco ball.
She is going to. You know what? She doesn't.
Oh, it's swoons rather than yeah.
She doesn't know that's a thing. She just knows that she can do it. So yeah, she's going to spend a glamour, and she's going to turn into basically a glowing version of Van Gogh's Starry Night.
Let me look at the swooned condition before I determine whether or not people are going to instinctively spend willpower. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. Don't think any of them really need to spend for that. As the display of bright lights and colorations and the beautiful artwork, um, you see that both of their eyes widen, and even Bologna sort of like steps a little bit further out from the door as you put on this display. And Lily just, I mean, you say I've got you beat, but that's incredible.
I mean, there are a few other things I can do. I've made some contracts with some things that I. Oh,
Weren't you the writer, not the lawyer?
you're not wrong. Contracts are the way that we changelings get our abilities. It's the way we get. We're from. I don't want to say it. I don't like saying the word. If you give them names, you give them power.
Don't worry about naming it.
We're descended from myths, is the easiest way I can put it, without putting too fine a point on it. Specifically, the ones from Ireland and the Celtic myths.
Mm.
People you're supposed to be worried
not the
about.
good kind. Yeah, I get you.
No. So we deal in pledges and bargains and contracts, just like they do. We learn from them, but we use it in our own way. And I might have accidentally. The reason you can see me is because I've struck a bargain with you.
Yeah.
And a little underhanded, but
I mean, as long as we keep up our end of it, right?
as long as we trust each other.
That'll be easy.
But despite looking like I'm made of paint, I'm actually made of water. And I'm able to manipulate it a little bit. I haven't really messed around with any of it, but because of my affiliation to the Spring Court, I can mess around with emotions. But I don't really like to do that all that much.
I mean, it sounds cool, but also a little awkward from a personal free will kind of standpoint.
Oh yeah, completely. That's sort of the reason I don't touch them.
But I mean, from a certain point of view, just using your looks and personality to get someone to feel a certain way about you is kind of a manipulation. Adding magic to it is just a step further.
You're not wrong.
And I mean, turning into various kinds of wolf isn't the only trick I know either, but
Oh, I didn't expect you to. Only know that one.
there's a whole world out there of spirits and things that live just beyond the edge of reality. And a lot of them, if you kind of similar to you, I guess, make the right deal, make the right agreement, they will provide gifts that are helpful. But enough showing off. Let's go be like actually eat dinner, shall we?
That works for me.
Meanwhile, Marlena, what are you up to?
I have no idea.
You have Halloween to yourself because you didn't decide to go to the haunted house.
I thought
I was there.
no,
You were
they're
at the haunted
I
house,
just
but
didn't-
you weren't taking part. Yeah,
they're at the
I wasn't taking part. Yes, I was there.
they're at the haunted house. They're just not part.
I'm
of
just
it.
observing at the moment.
yeah. Would you be observing backstage or like actually taking a tour through the haunted house?
Fuck no. Well, excuse me. Do I look like I'm somebody who's going to be staggering my way through a haunted house? I don't think so.
Fair enough. So you're backstage with some of the other
Yep.
stagehands, watching Joe and Frisian have a grand old time frightening civilians.
I am too old for that shit.
Autumn Fright at one point manifests next to you. You are welcome to join in, should it fancy you.
Honey, have you looked outside on an average day? There's more than enough to be afraid of. I don't need to be afraid for fun. I'm perfectly fine where I am and watching them go through it all.
Ah, but sometimes the fear is its own catharsis. But to each their own. Can I help with anything else?
Like what?
You seem a little stuck, uncertain what to do next for the evening.
I'm not uncertain. I am perfectly content where I am, just keeping an eye on making sure everything goes fine.
Surely your only fun isn't going to be watching them have fun.
I, how to put this? I'll have plenty of opportunities for my own fun later. For now, I'm just here making sure things go off without a hitch. Joe and Frisian. I appreciate it, but I'm just fine.
Fair enough.
Now go off and scare a young child.
As she issues that laugh, it becomes an echoing laugh as her form, once again, as she does, just sort of blows away.
Yep. Yeah, no, Marlene is perfectly fine where she is just keeping an eye out on these two.
On Frisian and Joe. So, Joe and Frisian, how long are you guys going to keep running this haunted house?
Till Autumn Fry kicks me out.
Makes sense.
Joe is kind of gonna switch tactics a little bit, and I know there was the scarecrow person that was wandering the line outside earlier with the people waiting to get in the haunted house. Joe's gonna kind of take over that and just be making a bunch of headless puns
You're going to be the barker for drawing people into the haunted house.
with the people in line. Yes,
Yeah.
Monster.
and just having a great time.
Go ahead and roll me presence and expression. You get a +2 on this because of the situation.
Part of my expression is drama. My specializations is drama.
Yes, you'll get another one there, so I'd total of +3.
Okay, so expression and persuasion.
Presence.
Oh shit. Presence.
Presence and expression +3.
Presence and expression. +3.
Are you trying to get glamour?
Jesus.
Yes.
Congratulations, gain 7 glamour. Does that put you over your limit?
No. 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it does not.
What does that put you at?
How many glamour I have right now?
Yeah.
10.
10? Okay. I think that is literally at your limit, if I'm recalling correctly.
Probably.
For one, weird, yeah.
Yeah.
That just makes me insanely happy.
So, as you wander around frightening people and issuing headless puns, you get a grand harvest of glamour, as both you and Frisian have topped yourselves up for the night. The haunted house will go until 1 in the morning. Before they finally close things down. How long are y'all staying for the evening?
What time did we get there?
You got there probably about 4 in the afternoon-ish.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Like,
you could do a full 8-hour shift if you want, or you could just, head out earlier in the evening. You're not bound here for a shift.
I think let's work a good 6-hour shift because we still want to have some of the night left.
Yep.
Frisian will go until someone literally takes him away. Like, if Marlena comes up and says Frisian, it's time to go, then Frisian will leave.
Joe is just gonna go back in through the house to wherever Frisian is running amok and go, okay, sir, time to head out.
Another Shrek of the Claws. Okay. A very sad okay.
It's about 10 at night at this point. So the group of you reconvene backstage. I'm assuming you put your head back on.
Yes. Is it reattached?
Yeah, after you put it back on, it reattaches.
That was fun.
Glad I could be of assistance, and you provided a wonderful bit of extra atmosphere, Autumn Fright says, appearing again out of nowhere. It's just what she does. She seems to do it more in the vicinity of this haunted house than she does even in the comments.
Well, thank you for the opportunity and letting me lose my head a little bit.
Always a wonder to see someone cut loose.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I want to do it again.
My haunted house is always open for those who need to harness a fright.
As it
Frizz-
stands,
Frizzy
I'm
just
all
comes
popped
over to
off.
the haunted house.
That is a job you can get.
Yeah, hey, you can.
They will pay you if you become a regular.
Frisian would do that after he learns how to drive.
Now, where did my husband wander off to?
Oh, I'm right here, James says as he also wanders back in.
Where have you been?
Oh, I've just been out on the town, getting a drink, he says as he holds up a bottle.
Oh, really?
Got into a nice bar fight. It was a fun one.
That was a tone. What was that? Oh, really?
It was an oh, really?
No, no. No, no, sweetie. That was not just an oh, really. And an oh, really is not just an oh, really, even when it's just an oh, really.
Do you get a sum?
Enjoyment out of this? Yes, I do.
I said, do you get a sum every time you say, oh, really? Because you just got yourself a paycheck right there.
Listen, you got that ball rolling.
I didn't get any ball rolling. I was talking to my husband, who had nothing to do with it.
Yes, James says, biting his tongue.
But you said it in my vicinity, therefore I am now involved. What was that tone? I am just curious.
He said he had a night out on the town. Sounds like a good time. And he's already got a drink, so he's got a head start on me. And I can't say I'm just a little bit, and that's not another headless pun. A little bit jealous. I could go for a drink, and he's getting in fights and drinking with him. Why are you getting in fights?
There we go. Now we're starting. I was waiting for that.
Look, I need to get Glam in my own way, all right?
Okay, just I will let it go. Just answer two questions. One, were the cops called?
Nah.
Okay. Two, did you win?
Oh, obviously.
That's what I like to hear. Getting in bar fights, you better be winning them.
My work is done.
All I can imagine during that argument is
Work
Frisian's
has
just
done
talking.
nothing.
All I can imagine is during the argument, Frisian's just talking with Autumn Fright about a job.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is my work not done? Should I keep going then? Because
Your
that's
job
what you
wa-
just said. My work is
job-
not
your-
done.
Your job, what you didn't even have a job in the first place, so how can you be done?
My job, dear girl, is to facilitate open communication and not keep feelings buried down.
We were doing just fine on our own.
No, you
Thank you very
fucking were not.
You didn't even give me a chance. Fucking hell.
Yes, you most certainly. You're absolutely right, sweetie. You most certainly would have been completely open and upfront and not held it down until you eventually exploded the way that you have in every opportunity since we got out of where we got out of. This would have been the one, for sure. Excuse me, I'm gonna go get a drink.
James
Bottles
just
off.
I said James just looks at Marlena as they head off and then looks back at Joe. Did I just miss something?
She likes to play in sandboxes that don't belong to her.
The world is my fucking sandbox.
There she is again.
Well, you wanted to get a drink? Shall we head to a different bar than the one I just trashed?
Oh, yeah, that'd probably be wise.
All right. Frisian, you up for drinks?
Sure. Looking over from the conversation with Autumn Fright, only half knowing what was being asked.
But yes, if you wish for full-time employment, I think we could arrange something. Come back tomorrow afternoon and we'll work out the paperwork.
Sounds like a plan.
She smiles. And as you turn to rejoin the rest of your motley, she's gone.
Hey, Marlena, I need to get back down here tomorrow now.
Sorry, what?
Autumn Fright said I could work here. So
Oh, okay.
I just need to have a way to get back down here.
I am certain we can arrange that.
Okay.
It's not like you have like 5 cars in your garage.
Yes, but Frisian can't
I
drive.
feel like that's underselling, but
Fair. It's more like a 12-car garage.
that is perfectly fine. We will absolutely we will make sure you get down here.
By all means, it shouldn't take much for Frisian to relearn to drive.
Yeah, no.
It's just getting used to
You
modern
basically
vehicles.
have all the reason you need to get a dot of drive. You don't need much in the way of training. You sort of have to get used to the feel of new vehicles.
Which, to be fair, is a process, especially everything.
I remember when I went from my '85 Blazer to a 2006 Malibu. It was a bit of a jump.
I mean, but we're talking 85 to 2006.
Yeah, versus 45 to 2023. Yeah,
right. First time Frisian goes to step on the gas, everything in the back seat is gonna fly into the front seat because it's gonna be slam.
It's also worth noting it's not just 45 to 2023.
That's true.
It's a military vehicle from 45.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's easy. It'll be easy to.
Get him a Jeep. He'll be fine. Is he driving a golf cart down the highway?
It's just a tank. Those have stayed mostly the same in terms of driving, I think. Probably.
Tractor.
I was gonna say, just get him a Humvee.
Including the fact that they tend to look at you weird when you drive a tank down the road.
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
Would they?
No,
Would
for
they?
the road's sake.
Yeah.
Would they in Tennessee though? I don't know that they would.
The civilians might not look at you weird, but the people who manage and maintain those roads will look at you weird.
Yes, Death Glares is looking at someone weird.
Because, yeah, steel treads don't play well with asphalt.
No, not at all.
Let alone going off of, if you get off of like a highway that's not intended for heavy vehicles.
There's a reason why tanks being put on parade have very specific runways they drive down.
Yep.
More you know.
Or very special treads.
Yeah. But with that in motion, that's where we're going to take our break. Remember, we take our break, you take your break. So sit up, stretch your legs, do whatever you need to do, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
And we're back.
A Macaulay story.
Nope. We're just back.
Back and nothing else.
Correct.
I like the change of pace of calling it a Macaulay story, though.
Wait, what?
Macaulay are were alligators.
And were dinosaurs.
They're were alligators. They just have dinosaur / dragon-like forms
I was trying
in
to.
their equivalent Krynos.
Well, they also have dinosaur-like beast forms, because I know one of the Macaulay arcs is literally just a Triceratops.
I was. Now I feel really stupid. Because I was trying to figure out where the hell Macaulay Culkin fit in with all of this.
I mean, that's fair. That is fully fair.
Like, what did Macaulay Culkin do a dinosaur movie? Like, I was like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. The group has the rest of the evening. What are the three of you guys up to? You were going to get a drink, I know.
Mm-hmm.
As was
Brizzian was also
Marlena.
invited.
Yep.
Are you going to the same place to get drinks, or are you going to
think
different
so.
places?
Yeah.
What kind of bar are you looking for, Marlena?
That's a good question. I would say
A bar that seems likely for James to get in a fight at, so we have a show while we drink.
Well, that just feels like any bar.
It doesn't have to be a specific bar.
I am going to say something that is sort of mid-level, like somewhere that a fight would be possible if someone wants to get into a fight, because maybe that's something someone wants. But like not so, like not a shitty bar. Like
So
the
not
kind of place that,
like a pub?
I was gonna say like either like mid-range like pub style or like biker bar kind of situation.
Oh gosh.
I mean, so okay, so here's the question based on the general vibe. Are the rest of y'all just follow me wherever we end up going?
Not necessarily.
Brizzian, yeah.
I mean, James will, unless Joe specifically goes somewhere else.
Yeah, you know what? Because I just want to see how this plays out. I want to see how reactions are and how this plays out. Marlena would too. We're gonna find the first strip club we can find. This will be revealing.
In more ways
It's not intended to be a pun, but now I realize it was.
Congratulations, you made a pun.
It grew up so fast.
Fuck off. But yes.
There is absolutely.
It doesn't matter. It can be a really high end place. It can be like the worst strip club in Knoxville, which I imagine is a statement. It doesn't matter. Whatever is first.
The worst pies in London, the worst strip club in Knoxville.
The consideration is you said the closest, and we're not in Knoxville.
Are we not?
You're in
We're in
Gatlinburg.
Gatlinburg.
But there
That's
are
right,
definitely
that's
strip
right.
clubs in Gatlinburg.
Well, you know what? I think that emphasizes the statement that I just made, though. Like, the worst is probably even worse. I've seen small-time strip clubs.
So you're gonna hate this. Every
Oh, no.
strip club in Gatlinburg is, for the most part, some variation on Southern slang and puns.
It is what it is.
Not that this is the place you end up going, but there is a real life strip club in Gatlinburg called Daisy Dukes, DAZEY DUKEZ.
I mean, I'm not annoyed by the pun there. I'm annoyed by the use of the 1990s use of Z as S. The trend that should have died then. But yes, that is where we are going.
Pretty certain it's a play on Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, it is. It 100% is.
100%, yeah. And Daisy Dukes are
Yeah, the shorts, the cut off jean shorts.
Cut off shorts, yeah.
And so named because of the female character in it.
In Dukes of Hazzard, yeah.
You find one of several of these kinds of strip clubs.
Perfect.
It's real down home Southern strip club, which means it is a whole lot of actual Daisy Dukes. There's a whole lot of like rock and country music playing in the background.
Delightful.
More than one of the strippers is wearing a cowboy hat for some reason.
Of course.
And not a lot else.
Just a cowboy hat?
Just that, yep. Yeah, and find a place to sit down and just enjoy the evening. Let's see who all comes in.
Which of the rest of you will enter the strip club?
Joe's in.
All right.
I think Frisian isn't entirely aware of what this place is, and so it just follows in anyways.
Frisian, you become rapidly aware of what this place is. You walk in.
Yeah.
I'm assuming as a soldier, he does know what a strip club is.
Probably, yes.
Probably vaguely, because he wouldn't have spent much time in the U.S. as a soldier.
Yeah, that's why you would be aware.
It's not just a U.S. thing.
Yeah, gentlemen's clubs are everywhere, and soldiers are very popular at gentlemen clubs, especially soldiers who are on tour because they have military pay to spend and they're not sticking around. But yes, you are rapidly made aware that this is a strip club as you enter. Marlena, you just find a bar seat or a seat like a couch seat or
like I'm gonna somewhere off to the side, a table. Somewhere that is comfortable and not too confronting for people who might be like, all right, I'm going in here, but I'm not liking it.
Not a table directly in front of one of the poles.
No.
The terrible thought of that, like a table in front of one of the poles, is exactly where Marlena gets Frisian to sit.
No, we're easing into not like kicking head first, or kicking until you fall head first into the cold water. Also, for those who have not gotten glamour, this will be a good place for it.
I think it's just you at this point.
Well, there you go. But yeah, take a seat. Y'all seem like you were having fun.
Yeah. I mean, we never did the whole like bachelorette thing, so it's overdue.
No, I meant back at the haunted house.
Oh yeah, that too.
Like, yeah, the haunted house was a lot of fun. At one point, I think I overdid it though.
I mean, sweetie, you are kind of the poster child for buttoned up and then overdoing it when you get the chance. No offense. You give off the grew up spent all of high school studying and then went to college and didn't spend a day in class vibe.
Now that I think about it, I'm not sure how much high schooling Frisian actually has.
Good
It's a
question.
metaphor.
Frisian grew up in a Caribbean island nation
Yep.
in like the 1930s.
So
May not have had much in the way of formal education, yeah.
Well, it's good to see you enjoying yourself, and
mhm.
now you've got employment.
Yep.
You thinking about making your character like you just want to do the same thing? You want to develop something new?
I think to start with, I want to try a couple of different things, so get a better feel for what the options are.
The options,
Makes
yeah.
sense.
Mix it up a little bit.
Are you? Should we take that as an indication of where you may be leaning court-wise?
Not really.
Be nothing wrong with it if you did.
Yeah. As the player, I'm not sure how to phrase it. Because
It is a
Like
very
the-
instinctual thing, yeah.
like Frisian's court alignment is like a fighting spirit more than
Yeah.
the haunt.
Fair enough.
But I'm not sure how to phrase that, especially through the lens of Frisian, who's not familiar enough with the courts to
I mean,
articulate.
Frisian may just not know how to phrase that.
Yeah.
And just be like, not really, and I don't know how to say otherwise.
Yeah. Which valid. All right, fair enough. What about you?
Which you are you?
Yes, you.
Me.
The other person in this at this table who might be considering courts. I mean, I guess both of you, but
I'm already part of Autumn Court.
I didn't know it was official. Fair enough.
As you will recall, all my melancholia and bitterness when you first met me, and Autumn Court just fit into that and continues to do so.
All
Plus
right.
the whole wind thing. Oh no, seems like a good fit.
Good to know. So what's next after we enjoy ourselves tonight? Next on our agenda.
Well, we probably should catch up with oh no, Cassandra's got her sister. At some point we'll need to catch up with her and see how she's doing.
I know like the immediate picture is I need to be back down here tomorrow.
We need to get is your shit already moved to your house from the
It's getting moved.
It's getting moved. Okay.
Gonna take a little while, but it's getting moved. Not a
Okay.
horrible amount, but there's a lot of shit.
I'm aware. The only other thing I can think of is setting up a trap for our fetches.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe something that gets that all the phrases I can think of are inappropriate. So that gets that started, I guess.
I mean, for inappropriate phrases, this seems like the place for it.
Well, not that kind of inappropriate, but when you're talking about ending lives.
Ain't alive.
Let's get the ball rolling.
It ain't alive. The things aren't real. Just seems real.
Dismantling, not killing.
Exactly.
I like that word. That's a better word. You need to work on dismantling some fetches.
Well,
How are you holding up and all that, by the way? I mean, it's your fetch and you're
about as well as could be expected, knowing that somebody's out there wearing my face and living my life and not being me.
I can sympathize.
But as far as that goes, I reckon that we won't have a whole lot of downtime once we get that ball rolling. So maybe enjoy it while we got it.
Well, that is fully my plan.
I think after Halloween, it's going to be probably a lot more hectic. Not least of which because we got all sorts of crazy new fucking things showing up. I mean, did anyone else not think that werewolves were a thing until we met one?
I mean,
I'm operating on the fact that there were stories about werewolves and we function off stories.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Honey, listen, we escaped from fairyland. I am going to assume that everything up to and including unicorns, leprechauns, ghosts, banshees, Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot, Mothman,
Centaur,
Jersey Devil. I'm assuming it's all real until I find definitive proof that it is not. Aliens, good Republicans.
That might be the most unbelievable one of all. I think I've had a unicorn first.
So I would say it was surprising that one struck so close to home. But I wouldn't, if you had asked me, I wouldn't have said, "Oh yes, they certainly exist." But that was the least surprising thing about that. Speaking of which, pulls out a phone, tap, tap, tap. What you doing? Send.
So Cassandra, you get that in the middle of dinner.
She will look at her phone, very audibly sigh, and then just text back, having dinner with my sister and her partner. Send.
Oop. Tap, 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 tap. You should all come to the strip club after. Send.
Excuse me for just a second. She's gonna get up and step out onto the back porch. You're getting a phone call.
Yep. Why are you not here? No, I know why you're not here. You're doing family thing, and I get it.
I'm curious why the strip club was so important.
I mean, it's just where we are now.
Interesting.
Joe got decapitated.
I'm sorry. What?
I lost my head.
Did I stutter?
Shit. Okay.
It's fine. It's back on.
I'm gonna kick your ass the next time I see you.
What? I have not told no lies. Have I lied?
No.
See?
No.
I have a few questions, but I'm gonna let those slide. Is something up?
No. I was just checking in, making sure you were all right.
I'm good. Lily's told me a few things about the family. Apparently my dad's starting to crack a little bit and go away from his conservative Republican ways a tiny bit. My
Joe's just gonna go,
I'm like,
unicorn.
Yeah, I'm like, shit, guys. I think this big surprising one might come around.
Yay, unicorns! Woo!
No, the other one.
I'm gonna
That's my statement.
I'm gonna let you all get back to that.
Yep.
So just keep me updated in case anything goes sideways.
Will do. Let us know if you want to come bond.
Oh, I mean, we might be going sideways later, to say. I've had a lot to drink. I don't know why I'm in this conversation.
I mean, I could.
I mean, you usually have to drink a lot after your head gets chopped off. So,
you all heading back to your mansion after this, then?
probably.
If any of us are good to drive.
I mean, that's what that lovely app is for. I don't know. Maybe Joe, James, you guys.
I could be the
Coming
designated
back,
driver,
or-
yeah.
What?
I can be the designated driver if you need one.
Well, I was just saying, you guys, when we pot or when we're done here, we heading back to my place, or are you guys heading back to
James looks over
my
at
other place?
James
Now
looks
that I
over
think
at
about
Joe.
it.
I was about to say they're both your place, technically.
I asked. I'm still waiting for an answer.
Let's.
James looks at Joe.
What? Why you gotta look at me for everything?
Because you're the one who will be raising hell if we go to the wrong place.
I resent that.
I don't know why it
You
matters.
also,
The
you
walls
also
are equally
resemble it.
the walls are equally thick in either place.
What the hell did you just say, James? I didn't hear you.
I said you also resemble it.
Daily motherfucker.
He ain't wrong.
Tell Joe to drink a Gatorade. She's gonna have a wicked ass headache in the morning.
I am fine.
They will
Head
be.
is back on.
They will be fine. You know me. I'm a lookout for them.
Okay.
No, you're gonna egg me on and then say I told you so in the morning.
I will. You know what, bitch?
Have you been teaching her how to read people?
No.
I
I'm assuming
don't you go passing
osmosis.
that on.
I am assuming osmosis at this point.
Fuck you.
We will figure it out, and I will let you know.
Yeah, send me a
Because I do
text.
not believe that Joe is capable of answering a simple question at the moment.
Send me a text. I'll ask
No,
the
you
girls what
listen.
they want to do.
All right. Well, have fun. I hang up.
You too. She'll step back inside.
So, Joe, what's the plan?
Well, would you prefer to go back to a place where we're on our own, or would you prefer to go back to a place where somebody's going to say, I told you so in the morning while I'm nursing a hangover?
First of all,
I mean, the second one would be very funny.
thank you. First of all, I will not be saying that because I will be making sure that you do not have a hangover. That said, if you want to go, if you want to go back to the warehouse, let's just call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to the warehouse and then forget to drink water or something else, then I will be more than happy to text, I told you so in the morning. Because you are responsible for your own choices, but I will make sure that you are that you not, if I am capable of doing so.
You don't. And she's just going to very haphazardly point in James's general direction. Like, you don't trust him? Make sure I don't have a hangover? That's my husband.
And you are a noble person and a good person. And she just smiles there and leaves it off.
And James just grins, the big toothy dragon grin.
Oh.
They may very well do that, and then maybe they won't because they will forget.
Or I'll find it too funny.
Or they'll find it too funny. See, I'm the nice one.
I don't think there is a nice one.
No, I'm definitely the nice one.
You're not nice, you're mean.
I'm honest. There is a difference.
Thin line.
Drink your drink.
I am surprised that I haven't heard you quoting Mean Girls at any point.
Who,
I'm
me?
sorry, what?
Right, you've never seen that, right?
I've
Mean Girls is a 2000s movie. Thank you.
Yeah, James is like, right, you were from the 90s. There's a movie you need to see.
I'm sure there are many movies I need to see.
No, I think Mean Girls needs to be on the top of your priorities list.
Probably. That would sound like something I would be interested in.
You probably got a burn book too.
A what?
Well, if you'd seen the movie, you'd know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was a little bit busy when this movie was being released. They didn't do screenings in hell.
Actually, they might have.
They didn't do screenings in my hell.
Pretty sure I've seen them put on some plays in the backyard.
Anyway. Yeah, you laugh it up all you want. I've been nice up to now.
Oh, this has been you being nice?
This has been me at my absolute nicest. Thank you very much.
Oh, so the past out of fuck, this is Katie asking. How long has this entire 20 episodes been, like, time-wise?
Like a few months, I want to say, like 2 or 3 months. No, wait, sorry. You came out in like late September, so it's been a month. It's been just over a month. Like late September, early October. This is the end of October, so yeah, it's been about a month-ish.
So you've been saying this entire month has been you being nice? Or just
do you want me not to be?
I'm trying to.
Do you want me? Do you want me to? Do you want me to hold back? Hold back no more?
Listen, I'm trying to figure out. What parameters I'm working with here. Like, are you talking about today? Are you talking about like yesterday? Are you talking about 2 months?
Yes. I am. Because if you want me to not be nice, I can definitely go there.
You love me too much. You can't be mean to me.
Oh, really?
Really?
James is sitting here having a soda, watching this transpire.
I'm just saying, as long as we've known each other, I have not said a thing about your fashion sense.
Mm-hmm.
what you refer to as a makeup job.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
See, here's the
Starting
thing.
tomorrow, it's game on, bitch.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Oh no! What? Okay, what's the thing? What's the thing? Please give me ammo.
On ammo, I'm
In
pretty sure
order
it's not
to
gunshot.
insult me about my fashion sense or my makeup or what have you, I would actually have to care about your opinion.
Say that as if you don't care a lot about a lot of things, though. That seems like a pretty empty threat.
Thank you, Frisian.
You love me too much to be mad at me.
James
Who
is
said
like,
Who said I was mad? I'm just inspired now.
I feel like the alcohol's getting to her at this point.
I feel like I'm being honest for the first time in a month.
Oh no, it's fine. Cam wants to go off. Cam can go off.
Excuse me? Like, I literally didn't hear what that was.
Said if Karen wants to go off, then Karen can go off.
Okay.
The Kmart.
Kmart
Why
hadn't fucking been around in 20 years, but okay.
What's a Kmart? And why are you calling Joe Karen?
Well, Kmart is a place where people who don't know how to dress get clothes. And Karen is alliterative with Kmart, so I'm starting off easy.
Did you pick up the term Karen from your recent internet wanderings? Or
I'm sorry, is Karen
Oh, you aren't familiar? Okay. Karen's also the term that we end up using nowadays for
I want to speak to your manager.
Yeah, like suburban white woman in her mid to late 30s with the one particular haircut and the attitude of like, I own everything and I want to speak to your manager kind of thing.
Well, if the Blue Cross special fits.
That sounds like my first sergeant.
What, the Karen or the Blue Cross special?
Karen thing.
Or the blue light specials.
Blue light special.
Kmart. If you're going to insult me, get it right.
I will confess that was an unforced error. I have had a few, so.
Still, the initial question hasn't yet to be answered. Where are we going for the evening?
I told you to decide.
Fucking.
I thought the plan was for you to go to Kmart.
Well, we can't go to Kmart because it's not 20 years ago.
I was like, those don't exist anymore.
I'm pretty sure they do.
I don't
think they exist in a lot of places, but Kmart still definitely exists, I'm pretty sure.
They do still currently exist. There are 8 Kmart locations left, 2 of which are in the continental US as of November 2023.
They are fighting for their fucking lives.
Still valid.
Pull the plug.
Also, apparently Kmart.com is the thing, so still exists.
Because everything on the internet exists.
Can you buy something from it? You can. Anyways, It is funny though, if you Google Kmart, the first thing under questions asked is, why is Kmart no longer in business? um
Pick the wrong time to take a drink.
I feel like this entire conversation is for the wrong time. I've been drinking through the whole thing.
But I mean, I feel like James's statement of Kmart's not a thing anymore is still valid.
I mean, Marlena is not searching the internet to find out who is taking the word for it.
There are two of them left in the U.S. I would not call that a thing as far as supermarket chains go.
Although apparently there is one within 100 miles of Knoxville.
Well, there you go.
One of the last remaining Kmart's is near Knoxville.
Within 100 miles.
Waynesville, North Carolina.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Which we're actually closer to than Knoxville, because it's like from Knoxville to Gatlinburg, it's like down that direction.
And fucking tastic. Well, now that you're going to decide, I'm going to say come stay at my place. Because Joe's not going to decide in order to make a point.
Yeah, all right, let's do the thing.
All right. Is your point made?
What point?
That's a real good question. So I guess I answered my own question.
I'm glad somebody's listening to you.
Do you even know how that feels?
What, to be listened to?
Yeah.
I was an only child, so, you know.
I don't remember if I was an only child. There is that grandnephew, so I guess I shouldn't be.
Yeah,
that would certainly imply, though.
That would imply that you had at least one sibling.
I mean, not necessarily. Like your cousin. I understand that there are intricacies of that, but if you had a cousin who had a kid, that would essentially be the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
You usually simplify that stuff rather than say, like, nephew 7 times removed to the power of 6, whatever.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Which reminds me, we need to find that out.
Find what out?
The prison.
Oh, the person he's related to.
What was his name?
Andrew Cho.
Oh no, that was Frisian, not like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like I have it written down, but that's Frisian in the moment being like, what was his name? I think we found him before.
We did. It's probably written down somewhere. Oh, wasn't it in that that privateer motherfucker? Didn't she tell us something?
Marcella, yeah.
Marcella, yeah. I chopped her head off.
Bitch.
You know,
you got your own head chopped off. Now you know what it feels like.
Yeah, but mine got screwed back on.
Yeah. Not so much luck for her.
No.
Are you sure? We didn't really try.
I don't think. Well, seeing as the body was left in one place and the head was put in another, I think that time has passed. And once she would try to kill somebody, wasn't she? I mean,
we are done. We're done talking about dumb bitches. We're now going back to the subject that we were so conveniently diverted from.
Which was?
You're gonna have to remind me.
Good God. You are driving, right, James?
I am driving, yes.
All right.
Sure as hell ain't.
It was like 20 seconds ago, you nitwits.
Yes, and I have a bad memory.
Your family, Frizzy.
Oh, you said dumb bitches. I thought you were going back on Joe again.
Damn, motherfucker.
I like it, Joe's like, that wasn't me.
To be fair, I thought it was about me too. So go ahead.
Jeez, Frisian. You learned a little too fast from Marlena.
They grow up so fast. No, the dumb bitch was the one that we're no longer going to talk about because she did.
To be fair, to make it even worse, Frisian probably had no inflection in his voice when saying that.
Yeah.
Zero. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not even mad.
No, you. Your past, your family, your whatever. You are easily the best of all of us at not tackling things that at least you seem to want to tackle.
I don't know. I think James
Was there
can
a
say I tackle
compliment
things
in there
pretty
somewhere?
good. I'm pretty sure James can vouch that I can tackle things perfectly fine when I tackled that hobgoblin.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I got him off my back pretty good.
For sure, but you know what I'm talking about.
She wants you to get in touch with your feelings.
Yes, like that, but not said like a bitch.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you for the compliment.
I can't tell at this point if it's the alcohol or the spite.
Yes. My point is, it feels like it's something that you want to tackle, but you are not, that you are nervous about doing so. So you express when it's brought up and then let it fade. It's not healthy.
Fair. Out of character. It's not even just things that Frisian. That's not the only thing that Frisian does. That do is like everything.
Yeah, no, legit. So I'm going to keep on you about this until you tell me to back off. Because I think it's something that you want. You're just either nervous, not sure how to do, or something. So I'm gonna be the bitch and keep bugging you about it.
You know, it's probably a mix because, like, I can't just up and say who I am since that was so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I was taken out of the military, so I'm sure that that's not a good name to bring up either.
So then we need a plan. You could be. I mean, I'm just spitballing here, but you could be long lost relative.
It's not really
Out of
all in
out
when
of
it's true.
out of character, that feels dangerously close to a pun. With Frisian being a relative and having been lost a long time ago.
I mean, no, that's just flat out saying it.
Yeah.
You could be like, listen, you're in the military, you're at war. I'm not saying that you did, but in terms of plausibility, the odds that you had a kid out there while on tour that you were never aware of is not necessarily low. There are other ways that we could approach this, I'm sure. This is just the first one that's coming into my somewhat pickled brain.
Should he do one of those like the ancestry test, the kits we swab your spit and then they put it online?
I'm sorry, what?
Okay. So there was this big movement about people finding each other in family tree, long lost family members connecting. And so it became this business where they put you get this kit and you swab your cheek and you send it in and then they give you a report about like your ancestry and your background, and then you put it online and see if anybody else has like relation to you.
I am not certain that we should be sending our DNA into a database.
That's fair. You're probably right.
Unfortunately, as useful as it might be. But there's the long lost family angle. There could be the I am doing a report on
You could
people from the war.
You could be a census taker.
So all four of you at this table right now, including James, have your supernatural senses go off in this room. You don't get a directionality on it, but you get the presence of something supernatural that twinges against each of your senses, because I did a free private kenning roll for each of you, and all of you made at least 2 successes.
I'm just immediately, not like coming up, but just calmly standing up and turning around to scan the room.
When you did the rolls, did you account for things like acute senses, the merit?
Kenning rolls on your clarity.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rolled all of your clarities, and none of you made less than 2 successes.
Did y'all feel something?
I'm scanning the room for anyone who's looking our direction, looks out of place. Any indication?
Roll me wits and composure.
Okay.
You can put willpower in this if you want, because
I will. Scanning. That would be 4.
Oh well.
So you notice a thing that you're fairly certain wasn't there when you walked into this bar.
Okay.
There is a symbol that has been scorched, carved, burnt, some kind of like physically marked into the wall like above and to the right hand side of the bar. The symbol itself is one that you're not super familiar with. At least you don't recognize it.
Okay.
But it's really wits and occult.
Oh, good. I do have a dot of cult. Nope. Not so much. But it wasn't there before.
It wasn't there before, and it's made up of a. It's a strange. It almost looks Celtic in origin. It's this sort of circular shape on the main body, and the symbol itself is almost like a cross overlaid on the circle, but the cross is almost made like the leaves of a plant, like it sort of ovals out, and then diamonds in the center.
I just walk right up to it, pull out my phone, snap a picture of it, and open up messages. I'm sorry. And I am texting this to Tier. What's this?
Tier gets a text message at the table, looks at their phone. Because Andre, you see them look over at their phone. Huh.
I know that that's not good news. She's gonna just start picking up plates from in front of people.
I don't have anything to do with it. I don't have a wrong accent. I don't have anything to do with it yet, but I mean, your friends found something weird. And she taps on it for a minute. I mean, it looks like some kind of witch sign, but I don't recognize it. Is what you get back in the text.
Okay. Huh. I'm gonna walk back over to the table, sit down, set the phone in the center of the table. That struck anybody as familiar?
Anybody who wants can roll wits and occult, or if you want to see if maybe you have seen this somewhere, intelligence and composure.
That has more.
We go ahead and get you the image of what you just saw. Go ahead and put it in Slack for you. Here. Odd character art. Strange logo.jpg. There you go.
Oh, now yeah, okay. Fair enough. But yeah, me.
Now you recognize what I was describing. Yeah.
Yes.
Frisian with 2 successes. Your grandnephew was wearing that on a necklace.
Oh, fuck me.
Like, wait, that I've seen that recently.
Oh, really?
I think my grandnephew was wearing it.
There is just a dead stare for about a beat and a half. Can I just express in this particular moment how happy I am that, to the best of my knowledge, all of my blood relations have no connection to me and I have no desire to connect with them.
Find out what supernatural thing is connected.
I roll a 3.
So with 3 on Incomposure Intelligence, Joe, you've never seen it before, but you do see symbols kind of like that in some of the like more rural areas around Knoxville. Not that exact one, but like all kinds of weird like symbolic signs and stuff. You've seen them around the rural areas. You lived here, you know, you've seen them before. Not that exact symbol, but things like it.
Similar. Okay.
Well, we're going to have to figure out what this is.
We can do a Google image search.
A what?
I don't know if that's necessary. That sounds to me like the equivalent of sending your spit into a place to put your DNA in a database. Forgive me, I'm old and therefore I do not trust the internet. At this point, I have pulled out my phone and I'm texting Violet. Nobody in our drag family has strange magical tendencies, do they? No vampires, no no ghosts, no anything else
to Violet, yeah.
Send
Succubi, incubi.
Yeah, no succubi. That's the next one. No succubi, no incubi.
Violet just sends back, do you think if they did, I'd know about it?
Fair.
So the words. Marlena doesn't want to Google search the image, but I sure did. Because I wanted to see if it was related to the islands, if that could spark some memories.
So the image itself doesn't really pull up a lot other than just being like Google image reverse lookup shows you like here's a bunch of images like this and what they're associated with, and you get a whole bunch of like Celtic crosses.
Oh no, not the character, myself.
Oh, that's fine.
And it's like it comes up with a witch's knot, which would be interesting. Except it also comes up with White Wolf fandom wiki.
Yeah, because it's definitely a thing.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was probably actually a thing.
Yeah, the actual symbol is called a witch's knot. That's the actual name of the shape. Yeah, sort of like medieval European symbol.
I did not expect to find a wiki page for mages, though.
I did.
Mage is not a game that I've really touched anywhere close to, so it's not in my purview.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Okay. Interesting that it would show up in a strip club.
Could you imagine how awkward it would be to run into my grandnephew in a strip club?
Ah,
There are worse places.
there are.
I'm reminded of one time I did a pub crawl, and the last pub we went at, a bar crawl, and the last bar we went into had my uncle there, and he just gave me the weirdest look for walking in there. It was funny.
I mean, look, this is just a strip club. It's not like an adult bookstore or
A sex toy shop.
key party.
You have this new mystery in front of you. This symbol that Frisian's nephew has been recalled to wear.
Where went my buzz?
And the weird thing is, you sensed magic in the room and that symbol appeared, but you're not entirely certain that symbol was the result of the magic. May have been a side effect, if nothing else.
I mean, fair.
Y'all think,
No, I'm just. Go ahead.
y'all think that one of the dancers here might be something else?
I discount any possibility.
I mean,
Mage
that would be
dancing at
one.
a strip club. That'd be a hell of a thing.
That'd be one hell of a cover.
I mean, that sounds like a chorister, actually.
That sounds like a lot of traditions. Like I could fit that in to just about all of them.
Yeah.
I could come up with a backstory for just about every tradition. Be kind of weird to. It would be shoehorning to fit it into like a child of ether.
Or maybe a euthanatos.
No,
No, euthanatos. You
100% I
definitely
could do
think.
that. I could absolutely do that. But yeah, outside of like Child of Ether or maybe a virtual depth, although I can figure out ways for that as well. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
On the next TED Talk, Jeremy making strippers out of all the mages.
That's not even really a challenge.
That's just Friday night.
You see, if you'd see the amount, if you could see the amount of characters that I have in D&D Beyond that I have never played, you'd realize how close to accurate that is. Anyways,
Look at who
I
I'm
also
married
make-
to. I believe you.
I also make a lot of characters on D&D Beyond. I don't get to play them.
But with
yeah,
that
I have that.
but
yeah.
but with that mystery laid before you,
Yep.
and the wonders of what that might imply, going forward, that's where we're going to end for the night. Say goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.